In this video, I'm going to tell you how anyone, yes, anyone can get a six-figure job, 100K plus, as a programmer. Anyone can do this, but you have to know how. In fact, I was just working with a coaching client of mine recently, and he was making like 60, 70K a year, and we just landed him a job making $140,000 a year. He just didn't think that that was even possible. Even if you're a junior developer, even if you don't even have any programming experience, I can put you on the path to do that. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. I'm John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com, and on this channel we teach you soft skills. We teach you the personal development skills that you need in order to improve yourself and improve your career as a software developer. That's going to result in big bucks and getting better jobs, honestly, and just becoming a better software developer, a better person, and having a better life and better happiness in general, rather than just focusing on technical skills, which are important, but not as important as the soft skills. And I'm going to tell you kind of a story about a person I was coaching and how we got him the job and how you can apply this. If you're just starting out, if you're watching this video and you're not a programmer yet, okay, you haven't gotten your first programming job, that's your first job. The advice I'm gonna give you in this video is gonna tell you from once you've gotten that job, how to get to the six-figure developer. But if you never got a job before, the very first thing you should do is get a job. Don't worry about how much it pays. Getting that first job is initially very difficult, okay? And so you need to really focus on doing that. Some of this advice is gonna apply to you, just not the numbers, right? As far as the salary numbers, right? But the advice I'm gonna give you will apply. Let me give you this story here. So I was coaching one of my coaching clients. This guy, he came to me and he basically was making like 60 or 70K a year. And he thought, okay, I can't really improve that. I'm just have a few years experience, and I've been at this job for a couple of years, and he just really didn't have much confidence that someone would pay him a lot more money. What I told him was, I said, okay, well, let me see your skill set, let me see your resume. And I looked at it, and he had a couple of years of experience. He had a pretty decent skill set, nothing like phenomenal. But I said, well, what are you specializing in? And he didn't know. I helped him kind of figure out what to specialize in, all right, some specific technology. And then I had him take his resume, and we went to a resume writer, and they rewrote the resume to make it look very, very professional. Okay, it's worth spending money on a good resume writer. And then what we did was we came up with a strategy, right? So I told him, here's the deal. Here's what you need to do. It's basically a numbers game. If we look at the distribution of the pay that people will pay you and who will hire you, it's sort of like this bell curve, right? And what I mean by that is that a majority of jobs might fall into the category of the 60, 70, 80K that you're making now, right? But what will happen is that on the extreme end, it's going to be less, okay, as you increase that salary, but there's still a bunch there. There's still a big chunk. There's still a fat chunk that we can find there. And what we got to do is we got to find those companies. So it's a matter of how many companies you reach out to, because here's the thing. Right now in this world, there is probably 1,000 companies that will pay you six figures, right? If you're a software developer right now, regardless of what your real skill level is, right? If you can write code, there's some company that will pay a warm body six figures. Okay, I know this. I know this because I know recruiters. I know the industry. I know that. Right now, I'm hoping that you're better than that you've developed some soft skills, you've subscribed to this channel, and you've developed your career communication skills, you've got some good technical skills. But just knowing how to code, there is at least 1,000 companies right now that would hire you, and you specifically, based on your personality or your background or whatever hiring criteria they're using, and they would pay you six figures. So all you got to do is find those companies, or find one of those companies, right? And so what it comes down to is a numbers game. So think of it this way, as like a sales process, a sales funnel. Essentially, like a sales pipeline looks like this. You have a bunch of leads that come in, okay? And then you have like a next step, which is a follow-up. And then you have the people that have made it to, they've contacted you back. And then you have the next stage, which is the people that have expressed a positive interest that maybe you set up a demo with, and then you have the next step where you have pitched them an offer, and then the next step where they've closed, and then the next step where you've gotten payment, or whatever it is, right? You've got this essential funnel, or more, it's more of a pipeline when we talk about sales. It's the same thing with the job search, right? So let's say that you have a job right now making 70K a year, like my coaching client did. What I had him do is I said, okay, look, we're just gonna fill up the pipe. Okay, and we're gonna start tracking the metrics on this, because what we wanna know is how many jobs you have to apply for in order for you to get an offer. Maybe for some people it might be 100. Okay? For some people it might be 50. For some people it might be 200. I don't know. But every single job, you need to do the best job of applying for that job. What you really want to do is you want to figure out, okay, maybe I'm going to apply for 10 jobs a day. All right? And I'm going to spend an hour or half an hour on each job application, tailoring my resume to customize it for that job, writing a custom cover letter or customizing my cover letter, right? Researching the information from the company so that I can know, trying to find some people on LinkedIn that I can reach out to, that I can say, hey, by the way, I'm submitting an application for this job. I just wanted to reach out to you and see if you had any tips or any advice, or just make connections with those people. And maybe you're only going to do 5 a day, whatever it is, but don't just spam, click on Monster or Dice or whatever it is and apply for all these jobs. All right, instead, you're specifically tailoring it, but you have a quota. So if you put 5 pipes, let's say 5 jobs in the pipeline per day, then in a week, you're going to have 35 jobs that you applied for. And then out of those 35 jobs, maybe you're going to get, let's say, 15 callbacks. Okay, if you do a really good job. Of those 15 callbacks, maybe out of those, you're going to get like 3 or 4 interviews. And out of those, maybe you're going to get 1 or 2 offers. As long as you are applying for the jobs that are within that salary range that you're looking for, you're going to get some of those ones that are going to be 6 figures, right? To get a 6-figure job is not that difficult. But the reason why most developers aren't able to do that, if you've been trying to, is because they're not looking at enough companies. They're applying for like 1 or 2 jobs, or they're spam applying for jobs and just seeing who responds to them. And the odds, right? If there's 1,000 companies out here that will pay you a 6-figure salary, okay, and you only apply for 2 jobs or 2 companies, what's the odds that you're going to hit one of those out of the millions of jobs that are out there? So you've got to kind of expand that. And then once you know what that ratio is, right? So if you've been doing this for a while and you start doing this application, you're doing it every single week as new jobs come into the market every single week, you're going to have an idea. You're going to say, okay, well, for every so many jobs that I apply for and that go through my pipeline that I put into the beginning of the pipeline, I get this many offers. And then you'll be able to start judging those offers and start negotiating on those offers until you get what you want. So you might have to be patient, right? So let's say that you're at a job right now making $70K a year and you want to get a 6-figure job, okay? The simple thing that you do, here's some simple steps that I would do if I were you. The first thing I would do is I would decide something that I'm going to specialize in. What is my niche, right? Specialization is very important. You will pay a brain surgeon more than a general practitioner. Why? You will pay a lawyer who specializes in criminal defense, if you need criminal defense, more than a general legal counsel. Why? Because they're specialized. So specialization is important. Number 2, I would take my resume, now that I know what I'm specialized in, give it to a professional resume writer and get it professionally done. Okay? It's not cheating. This is the smartest thing to do. If you were running an ad campaign for your company, you would hire an advertising company to make the ad. You wouldn't make it yourself on your fucking cell phone. So many developers that are like, oh, I can't hire a resume writer. It's so stupid. It's so, because this is an ad campaign for you. It's your ad, all right? Companies are going to see your resume. That's what they're going to see, and they're going to throw it in the trash can if it's not good, if it doesn't look good, all right? So you need to do that. Number 3, develop a system for applying for jobs and track that, okay? And when you apply for these jobs, apply meticulously. Spend the extra effort, the extra time to do the research on the company, to fill out, to change your resume, to alter it so it looks like a perfect fit for that job. Okay, the same thing with the cover letter. Spend some time making contacts, spend some time figuring out how you can apply for that job in the best way possible, and rinse and repeat and track all that. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna track it over time, and you're gonna look at your conversion rate from one step to the other, right? If you apply for 50 jobs, all right, you should be getting at least, maybe 10 callbacks where you're getting a response from them. If you're not, you need to improve something. You're not applying very well, okay? Or you're applying for the wrong jobs, or there's something that you need to improve. So you can test that, and if you're seeing a good response, then you're doing a good thing, right? And you want to optimize all the steps along that pipeline so that you're increasing your chances of getting a callback, increasing your chances of getting an in-person interview, right? And then following up all along that lines. If you continue to do that, and then the last thing that you do is that you do this over time, and you're patient and you're willing to wait 3 months and continue this process until you get that job, eventually it's going to come. It's just really a numbers game. Just like a sales process, it really is a numbers game. Now, there's obviously more to it, increasing your technical skills and increasing your soft skills and communication, and marketing yourself is a way to get jobs to come to you. Again, I've got a course on how to market yourself as a software developer that you can check out in the link below. But that's a strategy. Like, anyone can do this. Even if you're a new developer, you just need to get your first job, and then you can start applying this, and you can use this tactic to get your first job because you don't really care how much it pays when you're getting your first job. I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.